Hey, welcome home. My name's JR and I'm your realtor.
Hey JR, what are the top 5 things a person would need to know in order to buy their first home?
Top 5 things. I get this question a lot. Number 1, I would have to say is your education. Number 2, your credit. 3, your income. 4th, your debt. And 5th, and most importantly, your plan.
All right, so take us over education.
Education. So education doesn't have to be anything too crazy or formal. When I say education, I mean do some research about what you're getting involved in. You could do a simple Google search, watch some HGTV, or most importantly, and what I tell people to do a lot, is to speak with your sphere of influence, your family, your friends, your parents, people who have been through the homeowner process already or have just been long-time homeowners. They can tell you all about the little good things, the little bad things, everything that any professional might even miss while going through this process of buying, especially your first home.
What about income?
Income is very important. The income is what's going to determine how much home you can actually afford. And income actually ties into 2 of the 5 things, which is your debt and your credit. So you want to be very aware of your credit. And I'm sure everybody kind of knows that when they start searching for a home and say, look, I got to make sure my credit score is at a certain place. And that magic number and that secret number that a lot of banks are looking for is 640. You know, if you can get it to 640, you'll be in pretty fair shape where you get a pretty decent rate on your mortgage. There are rates, and some banks will give you money with your credit score down to 580. But a lot of the times, if your credit score is at that point, educationally, you're not really ready to get into maybe your first home.
How much income would you say is necessary to buy a home?
It all depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking to do a multifamily home, I would tell you would at least, maybe $45,000, $50,000 a year. But you can get a home with as little as $30,000 a year. It all depends on how much home you're buying.
So you mentioned debt. What's a good income to debt ratio?
So income to debt ratio, what that is, if you guys aren't aware, is if you add up all of your monthly expenses, your minimum balance payments on your credit cards, your car notes, if you do have a current mortgage, anything that's recurring, student loans that you do have to pay, what you do is you'll divide that by your gross net income. So the money you make before they take the taxes out. That's going to give you a percentage. Banks want that percentage to be as low as possible. The highest I've seen people get loans, 55, 56%.
And lastly, what's a good plan to have in order to buy your first home?
That's probably the most important thing, is coming up with a plan. First of all, know what it is you're trying to accomplish. Are you trying to get into this home as an investment vehicle? Is this something just for a peace of mind where you want a place for your family, a place for your kids to play, a good educational system, and a plan that's a broad plan, a big plan, not just thinking 5 years. You want to think about 30 years because it is probably the biggest commitment that you're going to make in your young life, and you want to make sure you do it right.
Well, thank you, man. I think that we're on our way to getting our first home.
Yeah, holla at me. Let's all win.